Now next important part is nothing but the water softening. Here water softening or the methods of water softening and demineralization. So after removing that bacteria or after adding some chemicals, we have to remove the precipitate from that water, and water should be soft before drinking. So types of hardness, we have to discuss the types of hardness. So it may be temporary hardness or it may be permanent hardness. Temporary hardness can be removed by boiling or adding lime, but permanent hardness we have to use some methods to remove that permanent hardness. Very first is lime soda method, then ion exchange or zeolite process, and demineralization process. So we will see first one, lime soda process. Here we can see lime soda process. Lime soda means adding lime as well as adding soda ash in water. Lime is nothing but CaOH by 2 and soda is nothing but Na2CO3. As we will add that material, it will produce some insoluble precipitate, and that precipitate can be removed. So there are some reactions showing, these are some reactions showing that method. Let's say carbonate of hardness of Ca, that is HCO3 by 2. Whenever we add lime, CaOH by 2, we can remove twice CaCO3 and then water. Again, suppose hardness, carbonate hardness of magnesium, that is Mg, MgSCO3 by 2 plus lime. Here we can see we can remove MgOH by 2 and byproduct, some byproduct, that is carbonate hardness of Ca. Again, magnesium carbonate hardness, that is MgCO3. Again we will add lime and MgOH by 2, that is the precipitate that we can settle, and CaCO3 is one of the precipitate that also can be settled. So again, lime can be added with the non-carbonate of hardness of Mg. Here we can see MgCl2. Then MgOH by 2 is one of the precipitate, and NaCl2. Like that, MgSO4 plus lime, CaOH by 2. Again we can remove the MgOH by 2. Here MgOH by 2 and CaS4 is the byproduct. Like that, we can use this lime soda method to remove that hardness. Again, soda can be used, soda ash can be used to remove the hardness. Here we can see CaCl2, that is the non-carbonate hardness of calcium, and we will add soda Na2CO3. So CaCO3, that is the byproduct, precipitate that can be removed, and twice NaCl. Again, CaSO4, that is the non-carbonate hardness of Ca, plus Na2CO3. Again CaCO3, that is the precipitate that we can remove, and N2SO4, that is the byproduct. So like that, we can use lime soda method to remove the hardness from that water. Next we will discuss the advantages of lime soda process. Here advantages. So the process is suitable for turbid and acidic waters. Simple advantages: reduction in the total mineral content, that is Mg can be removed, calcium hardness can be removed. Then remove some iron or magnesium in some extent. This is the advantages. Now we will see the ion exchange or zeolite process. Exchanging the ions, or it is also called as base exchange or ion exchange. So the zeolite is nothing but the hydrated sodium aluminum silicate. Zeolite is nothing but the naturally formed sand, that is green sand. Here we can see green sand. So zeolite can be used for exchanging the ions or treating the water. So it is hydrated means H2O. Here we can see this is the chemical structure. H2O means hydrated. Sodium means Na2O. Then sodium alumino means Al2O3. Silicates means SiO. So hydrated sodium aluminosilicate, that is nothing but the zeolite. Again we can see here, this is the X SiO2 and this is the Y H2O. So X is nothing but, it can be in between 2 to 10, and Y molecules it may be 2 to 6. So zeolite can be used for softening. Here we can remove the ions of calcium and magnesium from that zeolite. The reactions are given. Na2, by skipping that total reaction, total chemical structure, simply it is written that Na2JD means sodium zeolite, and CaHCO3 by 2, this is the calcium bicarbonate. By adding that zeolite, it will form CaJD, calcium zeolite, and 2NaHCO3, that is the byproduct. Again Na2JD plus MgHCO3 by 2, that is the hardness, magnesium hardness. Again in the reaction it will form MgJD, that is the magnesium zeolite, and twice NaHCO3, that is the byproduct. So by using zeolite we can remove that hardness of magnesium and that calcium. These are the advantages, that it removes the hardness almost completely, and water of at 10 ppm hardness is produced. These are the common advantages of zeolite. It is widely available, it is cheap. These are some advantages. Again some reactions we can see here, Na2JD plus CaCl2 or CaSO4 means calcium dichloride or calcium sulfate. So it will form CaJD, means zeolite of calcium and other byproduct, that it may be NaCl or it may be Na2SO4. Same like that, Na2JD means zeolite of sodium plus MgCl2 or MgSO4, sulfates of magnesium. So again it will form MgJD or some byproducts. So by using that zeolite we can remove calcium and magnesium ions or some hardness. So few disadvantages of that zeolite. Normally we use zeolite bed and we pass water from that bed to treat the water. So it is normally unuseful or unsuitable for the highly turbid water, because we have to pass the water through that zeolite bed. So suspended particles get deposited around that zeolite, so it may get blocked. Again the process is unsuitable for the water containing iron and magnesium. Again if the water is acidic, the zeolite process is unsuitable, as that acid may dissolve the alumina or silica which are present in zeolite. If the bacteria which are present in the water, that bacteria may rest on the bed, so it is again unuseful for the water having some bacteria. Now fluoridation, it has been a fluoride concentration. We require some concentration of fluoride, that is 0.7 to 1.2 ppm. If it is less than that, it may be harmful for the dental care. So we have to maintain that fluoride content in the water. So concentration of that fluoride, it should be in between 0.7 to 1.2 ppm. The higher level of fluoride, or if it is more than 3 ppm, again we have to remove that fluoride, or else it will cause the mottling, that is the black or brown stains of teeth.